The sky was burning.
The world that once knew peace was now a battlefield of fire and metal. Cities turned to dust. The oceans boiled under the heat of alien weapons. Humanity, once proud, now fought only to survive. Captain Aaron Cole stood in the command room of the last human defense base. His eyes were tired, his face covered in the smoke of endless war. He looked at the holographic map, red lights everywhere. Every red dot was a human city destroyed by the alien empire called the Kailari. They came without warning. No message, no reason. Their ships appeared like falling stars, and within hours the sky belonged to them. The Kailari were taller, stronger, and faster than humans. Their queen led them, a being of strange beauty and deadly power. Aaron had seen her once, not in person but on a broadcast. The Kailari queen stood with glowing blue skin and silver eyes, speaking words that chilled every heart. Humans are dangerous because they feel hope. We will erase that. But hope did not die easily. Deep inside a ruined city, a small human resistance still fought. They had one mission: capture a Kailari alive. Scientists believed the alien body might hold secrets that could save Earth. Aaron led this mission himself. He didn't believe in miracles, but he believed in trying. The night was quiet when they moved through the broken streets. Only the sound of wind passing through metal ruins filled the air. His team of 6 soldiers followed close, each step careful, each breath controlled. Suddenly, a sound broke the silence. A metallic growl, followed by a flash of blue light. Aaron dove to the ground as plasma fire ripped through the walls. The Kailari had found them. "Cover fire," he shouted. Bright beams crossed the night. The battle was short but brutal. 2 of his men fell. The rest kept fighting until the last alien collapsed, except one. In the smoke, a figure moved, tall, shining, almost glowing. She was wounded, her armor cracked, her weapon fallen. Her eyes locked on Aaron. She looked too human, too alive. Aaron raised his gun, but something stopped him. She didn't attack. Instead, she spoke, her voice cold yet strange, like a whisper that carried through his bones. "Kill me, human, quickly." Aaron froze. Her voice wasn't filled with hate, but with pain. Her legs trembled. Her hand pressed against a broken piece of armor that leaked bright blue light. Her blood. He lowered his weapon slightly. "Why would I kill you?" The alien looked at him with disbelief. "Because that is what you humans do. You fear us." Aaron shook his head. "I don't fear you." "Not anymore." The alien's expression changed, almost like she didn't understand those words. She fell to her knees, breathing hard. The blue glow around her faded. Aaron stepped closer. He could see her face clearly now. Young, almost peaceful, her skin smooth like crystal. Her eyes shimmered between anger and confusion. "You are not afraid," she whispered again, softer this time. Her voice carried both wonder and sorrow. Aaron looked around. His team was gone, only smoke and silence remained. He took a deep breath and said quietly, "I've seen fear. I've seen death. But maybe you're not my enemy." She looked up, her lips trembling as if trying to smile, but she was too weak. "Then you are different," she said slowly. "Different from the others." Aaron hesitated for a moment, then offered his hand. "Come with me. We can help you." The alien woman stared at his hand like it was something impossible. Her kind never accepted mercy. It was seen as weakness. But something inside her broke, and for the first time she reached out. Her cold fingers touched his palm. The moment their hands met, Aaron felt something. Not physical, but deep, like a strange connection in his mind. He saw flashes, stars, battles, the pain of her people and the loneliness of a queen who never knew peace. Then everything went dark. When he opened his eyes again, he was inside the human base. The alien woman lay on the medical table, surrounded by scientists. She was unconscious, her breathing slow, her body glowing faintly under the lights. Aaron stood beside her, wondering what kind of fate he had brought inside their walls, because somehow he knew this alien was no soldier. She was something far greater, and the war had just changed forever. The room was silent except for the soft hum of machines. Aaron stood beside the glass chamber where the alien woman lay. Her glowing blue skin flickered faintly under the bright lights. She was alive, but only barely. Scientists in white coats whispered around him, writing notes, checking readings, and whispering words he didn't care to understand. All Aaron knew was that she wasn't just another alien soldier. Something about her presence made the air feel different. heavy and calm at the same time. Dr. Lena Park, the lead scientist, approached him with a nervous look. "Captain, this isn't an ordinary Kalari. Her DNA, it's different," Aaron frowned. "Different how?" Lena hesitated. "She's a pure-blood Kalari. Royal blood. If I'm right, she might be their queen, or at least connected to her." Aaron stared at the alien through the glass, watching the slow rise and fall of her chest. "The queen? You're saying I brought the enemy leader here?" "Maybe," Lena said softly. "But if that's true, she's the key to ending the war." Aaron looked down, remembering her words. "Why aren't you afraid of me, human?" He didn't know why, but those words still echoed inside his mind. He wasn't afraid. Not even now, standing in front of the creature responsible for Earth's destruction. There was something deeper here, something hidden behind those glowing eyes. Hours passed. The alien finally began to stir. Her hand twitched and the machines beeped faster. Her eyes opened, silver and bright like moonlight. She sat up slowly, looking around the room with confusion and pain. Aaron stepped forward carefully. "You're safe here. We won't hurt you," he said softly. Her gaze turned toward him. "Safe? You brought me to your world's cage. That is not safety." Her voice was calm but filled with pride. Even weak, she looked powerful. Aaron noticed the way the scientist froze, afraid to even breathe too loud in her presence. "You attacked us first," Aaron said. "Why did your people start this war?" She looked away, her expression unreadable. "Because your kind did not understand balance. You spread, you take, you consume worlds that were never yours." Aaron took a step closer. "So your answer was to destroy us?" Her eyes flashed, almost glowing. "My answer was to stop chaos, but something went wrong." He could see it now. There was regret in her eyes. Not hatred. Not the coldness of a ruler. Something more human. "What went wrong?" he asked quietly. The alien woman lowered her head. "I am not supposed to speak of it. But I see no reason to hide now. I was betrayed." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "By who?" She looked straight into his eyes. "My own kind. The council wanted control over the humans, not peace. They used my name to start this war. I tried to stop it, and they called me weak." Aaron stood silent for a long moment. The truth felt heavier than any weapon. The queen of the enemy, the one they all feared, was sitting in front of him, a prisoner, wounded not just by battle, but by betrayal. He finally spoke. "If what you're saying is true, then your people are not following you anymore." She nodded slowly. "No, they follow another. A false queen," Aaron thought hard. "Then maybe you can help us stop her." The alien tilted her head slightly, studying him. "You would trust me? After everything my people have done to yours?" Aaron met her gaze without fear. "I don't trust easily, but I believe in chances. If you really want peace, help us prove it." For the first time, she didn't look angry. Her eyes softened. Almost like a spark of warmth returned to her voice. "You speak of peace, but your kind does not know what peace costs." He nodded. "Then show us." She looked down at her hands, glowing faintly in the dark. "I need energy," went from the Kalari ship. "Only then can I reach my mind link to the stars. Without it, I am powerless." Aaron knew what that meant. Their ship still hovered above Earth, guarded by hundreds of alien soldiers. Going near one was suicide, but he also knew this was their only chance. "I'll make it happen," Aaron said finally. The alien woman turned her eyes toward him again. "You are strange, human. You look at me without fear, like you see something more." Aaron didn't answer. He just stared at her, thinking how fragile she looked under the light, yet how much strength she carried in her words. "What should I call you?" he asked quietly. The alien hesitated before answering. "My name in your tongue would sound difficult, but you may call me Serenia." "Serenia," Aaron repeated softly. "Then let's end this war together." Her lips curved into the faintest smile, almost invisible but real. "Together," she whispered. "But remember, Captain, if we fail, both our worlds will fall." Aaron looked through the glass window toward the stars outside. For the first time in years, he felt something he thought was gone forever. Hope. And somewhere deep in the Kailari fleet above Earth, another voice spoke in the darkness. "She lives," said a deep metallic tone. The false queen's eyes glowed red. "Then find her," she commanded, "and kill whoever stands with her." The night outside was silent, but inside the base, tension filled every corner. Aaron stood near the strategy table, staring at the hologram of the alien ship floating above the Earth. It was huge, like a dark moon covered in lights and weapons. No human aircraft had ever come close to it and survived. Behind him, Serenia stood quietly, her hands clasped, her silver eyes studying the projection. Even weakened, she carried herself like a queen. "You're certain this is the ship that still obeys you?" Aaron asked. "Yes," Serenia replied softly. "It is my flagship, or it was before the Council stole it from me. Inside it lies the heart of the Kailari network. If I reach it, I can override their command." Aaron crossed his arms. "And how do we get there without being blasted to dust?" She looked at him calmly. "You'll need to think like a Kailari." Aaron sighed. "I can barely think like a human right now." For a moment, she almost smiled. Her face softened, and the faint glow on her skin reflected the cold light of the hologram. "You think with your heart. That is why you are still alive, Captain." He didn't know what she meant, but there was something about the way she said it. Calm, almost kind, that made him forget, even for a second, that she was the enemy. Dr. Lena interrupted their silence. "If we move quickly, we can use the old stealth shuttle. It's built for orbit travel, but its shield system hasn't been tested in years." Aaron nodded. "Then we test it tonight." Serenia's gaze lifted toward him. "You risk much for me," he looked back. "If what you say is true, you're risking more." That night, under the broken sky, the human shuttle launched quietly from an abandoned airfield. Its engines roared for only a moment before vanishing into the black. Inside, the small cabin shook as they broke through the atmosphere. Aaron sat beside Serenia, watching Earth fall away behind them, a dying blue world wrapped in scars of fire. She gazed at it too, her voice soft. "Your world is beautiful even when it burns." Aaron didn't answer. He was too focused on the radar. Enemy signals blinked nearby, Kailari patrols. One wrong move and they'd be vaporized. Serenia closed her eyes. "Let me help. What are you doing?" Aaron asked. "I am masking us," she whispered. "Kailari ships sense thought as much as heat. If I focus, they will not see you." Her eyes glowed faintly. For a second, the ship's lights dimmed. Aaron could feel something strange in the air, like a soft hum inside his skull. The alien technology mixed with human metal, and it worked. The patrols passed by without noticing them. Minutes turned into hours. Finally, the massive Kailari mothership came into view. It hung above the planet like a dark god, shining with layers of silver armor and spinning lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. Aaron whispered, "That thing's the size of a city." Serenia opened her eyes, tired but determined. "It is alive. The Kailari build their ships from living metal. It feels, it remembers. That's comforting," Aaron muttered. The shuttle drifted closer until they reached one of the lower docking rings. Serenia stood up, steadying herself. "I can open the gate, but once inside they will sense me." Aaron grabbed his blaster. "Then we'll move fast." The airlock opened with a hiss. Cold blue light spilled into the cabin. The alien interior was silent, smooth walls that pulsed faintly like veins of light. It didn't feel like a ship. It felt like entering a creature. Serenia walked first, her steps slow, her eyes scanning the walls. "This ship remembers me," she whispered. "It knows its queen." Suddenly, a metallic voice echoed through the corridor, deep and mechanical. "Unauthorized presence detected. Identify." Serenia's glow brightened. "It's me. Queen Serenia of Kailari Prime." There was a pause. Then the walls pulsed brighter, like the ship itself was breathing. "Recognition. Confirmed. Warning. Queen identity conflicted." Aaron frowned. "Conflicted?" Serenia's expression darkened. "The false queen has rewritten the command core. The ship believes she is me." The walls around them began to shift. The light turned red. "Run," Serenia said quickly. They sprinted down the corridor as defense drones dropped from the ceiling. Sleek black machines with glowing red eyes. Aaron fired his blaster, hitting one, but 3 more appeared. Serenia raised her hand and a burst of blue energy exploded from her palm, knocking them back. She gasped, falling to one knee. "I can't hold it long. The ship resists me." Aaron helped her up. "Where's the control room?" She pointed ahead. "There. If I reach it, I can override the false code." They ran through the twisting halls, chased by alarms and drones. Finally, they reached a vast chamber filled with floating crystals of light, the ship's heart. Serenia placed her hands on a glowing core. Her entire body shimmered with light. "I must connect." "Protect me." Aaron turned toward the door, firing at anything that moved. The air shook with explosions and sparks. He could hear her breathing behind him, fast and shallow. Then her voice echoed, not from her mouth, but inside his mind. "Captain, if I fail, you must destroy this place," he shouted back. "You're not going to fail." The lights flickered. Her glow brightened until the whole room turned blue. Energy waves pulsed through the ship. For a moment, everything went still. Then Serenia opened her eyes and they burned like twin stars. "I have the ship," she said quietly. "It's mine again." Aaron looked at her, amazed. "You did it." But before he could say another word, the screen above them flickered, showing a tall Kailari figure with red eyes and a cruel smile. The false queen. Her voice filled the room like thunder. "So, the lost queen returns, and with a human pet." Serenia's expression hardened. "You are no queen." The false queen laughed. "Then come prove it." The image vanished. Aaron looked at Serenia. "What now?" She turned slowly toward him, her silver eyes glowing brighter than ever. "Now, Captain," she said, "we take back my throne and end this war." The silence inside the ship didn't last long. After Serenia claimed control, alarms began to echo again, sharp metallic sounds that shook the walls. The false queen wasn't going to give up her throne so easily. Aaron looked at the holographic screen where her image had appeared moments ago. "She knows we're here." Serenia's voice was calm, but her eyes were cold and focused. "She knows I'm alive. That's enough to make her afraid." The floor vibrated. From the dark corridors came the sound of heavy footsteps. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Kailari soldiers were coming. Aaron gripped his blaster. "We'll never hold them off here." Serenia nodded. "We won't need to. Follow me." She moved quickly through the glowing halls. The ship seemed to respond to her touch. Walls opened and closed as she passed, guiding them through twisting tunnels. Aaron followed close, the hum of his weapon ready. The soldiers' voices grew louder behind them, alien words echoing like thunder. But Serenia stopped suddenly near a tall door made of living metal. She placed her hand on it and blue light spread from her palm. The door opened with a deep rumble, revealing a chamber filled with energy crystals and old Kailari symbols glowing softly on the walls. Aaron stepped inside, breathing heavily. "What is this place?" "The memory core," Serenia replied. "It holds the history of my people and everything they fear, everything they've forgotten." Aaron looked around. "And why would they fear us?" Serenia turned to face him. Her expression changed, sadness mixed with truth. "Because humans remind us of what we once were." Aaron frowned. "What do you mean?" She walked slowly to the center of the room, touching one of the crystals. Instantly, the walls came alive with light, showing images of tall, bright beings walking under alien suns. They looked peaceful, proud, full of life. "This was us," Serenia said softly. "Before the wars. Before power became more important than wisdom. We were creators once, not conquerors. But we lost that. When we first found humans, we saw something familiar. Something pure. You fight, you dream, you hope, even when you have nothing left." That terrified the council. Aaron stood silent. For the first time, he understood why this war felt wrong. It wasn't about control. It was about fear. Serenia continued, her voice quiet but strong. They believed hope was a disease, one that would spread across stars. They wanted to end it before it reached them. Aaron shook his head. "So they started a war just because they were afraid of what we might become?" She looked at him, her silver eyes shining faintly. "Yes, and I tried to stop them. That is why they betrayed me." The ship trembled again. A loud crash echoed through the halls. The soldiers had found the entrance. Serenia took a deep breath. "We must go to the throne chamber. It's the only place I can face her directly." Aaron stepped beside her. "You're not going alone." She glanced at him with a small, tired smile. "You really are fearless, not fearless," he said. "Just tired of losing." They ran through the corridors, the glow of the ship lighting their path. Behind them, the sounds of pursuit grew louder. Alien shouts, energy blasts, the pounding of metal feet. Finally, they reached the central hall. The throne chamber was massive, a circular room filled with streams of blue light rising like rivers toward the ceiling. At the center stood a tall seat carved from crystal and steel, and waiting before it was the false queen. She was taller than Serenia, her armor red and black, her eyes burning like fire. Around her stood soldiers in dark armor, loyal to the new order. "So," the false queen said with a cold smile. The lost queen returns with a pet soldier at her side. How human. Aaron raised his weapon. You should have stayed quiet, the false queen laughed. Humans always bark before they burn. Before she could speak again, Serenia stepped forward. Her voice was steady. You stole our name, our honor, and our purpose. Today that ends. The false queen's eyes flashed. You are weak, Serenia. You care for these creatures. You think mercy makes you strong? Serenia's gaze didn't waver. No, it makes me whole. The false queen raised her arm and a wave of red energy burst forward. Aaron dove aside as it shattered the floor. Serenia raised her hand, blocking the next blast with a glowing blue shield. The two powers clashed, red and blue light fighting in the air like fire and water. The room shook. The soldiers opened fire. Aaron rolled behind a pillar, firing back. Each blast echoed through the chamber, lighting up the crystal walls. Serenia's voice rang out through the chaos. Aaron, the throne, destroy the control crystal. He looked up. At the top of the throne, a bright red gem pulsed like a heart. It controlled the false queen's link to the ship. Aaron ran for it, dodging plasma fire. The heat burned his arm, but he kept going. He climbed the steps, every muscle screaming. Serenia and the false queen fought in the center, their energy surging like lightning. The walls cracked, sending showers of blue sparks across the floor. Aaron reached the top and aimed at the crystal. Let's end this, he shouted. He fired. The blaster hit the crystal dead center, and it exploded. The red light vanished, and the room went dark. The false queen screamed as the energy around her began to fade. No, you will not. Serenia stepped forward, her hands glowing brighter than ever. Your reign ends here. A final wave of blue light burst from her palms, engulfing the false queen completely. The air shimmered, then went still. Aaron stumbled down the steps, coughing from the smoke. When it cleared, the false queen was gone. Only ashes remained where she had stood. Serenia stood in silence, her glow dimming slowly. Aaron approached her carefully. It's over, he said softly. She turned toward him, her voice calm but distant. No, Captain. It's only begun, he frowned. What do you mean? Serenia looked up at the ceiling, the lights of the ship still pulsing weakly. The council will come. They will know she is gone, and they will not forgive us. Aaron clenched his fist. Then we fight again. She gave a faint smile. You humans never stop, do you? He smiled back. No, we don't. Outside the ship, in the vast black of space, hundreds of Kalari warships turned slowly toward Earth. Their engines began to glow, and somewhere deep inside the ship, a hidden signal was sent, a call across the stars. The war was far from over. The stars outside the ship began to change. Dozens. Then hundreds of Kalari warships appeared one by one, their engines glowing red like burning suns. Each ship was larger than any city, and together they surrounded Earth like a steel storm. Inside the control chamber, Aaron stared at the radar. Every signal was an enemy. They're here, he said quietly. Serenia stood beside him, her expression calm but sad. Her silver eyes reflected the flickering lights of the screen. The council has come. They believed the false queen was loyal to them. Now they will destroy both of us to keep their control. Aaron clenched his fists. Then we make them regret that. She looked at him with something close to admiration. You fight without fear. That's why they fear you. He smiled faintly. I'm too tired to be afraid anymore. Dr. Lena's voice came through the speaker. Captain, we've got visual confirmation. The entire Kalari fleet is moving toward Earth's orbit. We can't stop them with our weapons. They'll wipe us out in minutes. Aaron looked at Serenia. What do we have? She turned to the console. This ship still has power, the last energy core of Kalari Prime. If I merge with it, I can send a signal strong enough to reach every ship in the fleet. Aaron frowned. Merge? What do you mean? She hesitated. It means I must become one with the ship. My mind, my life, will connect to the core. It will give me control, but it may not let me return. Aaron's heart sank. You'll die? Serenia didn't answer immediately. Her voice was soft when she finally spoke. Not die, change. The ship will live through me. He stepped closer. There has to be another way. There isn't, she said gently. If I don't do this, your people will be gone before dawn. Aaron looked into her eyes, glowing softly, filled with calm strength. He had fought beside soldiers, leaders, and heroes, but none like her. She wasn't human. yet she felt more human than anyone he had known. He whispered, "You don't have to do this alone." Serenia smiled faintly. "You humans always say that." The ship trembled as enemy fire struck its outer hull. Explosions echoed in the distance. The Kalari fleet was beginning its attack. Aaron turned to the control panel. "Tell me what to do." She looked surprised. "You cannot link with Kalari tech. Your mind isn't built for it." "Maybe not," he said, "but you said this ship responds to hearts that don't fear. Maybe that's enough." For a long moment she just stared at him, then nodded. "Very well. But if you do this, you may lose yourself." Aaron gave a small smile. Wouldn't be the first time. Together they stepped to the glowing core of the ship. It pulsed like a heart, bright blue light filling the chamber. Serenia placed one hand on the surface and Aaron placed his beside hers. The energy leaped between their fingers, forming a connection that felt both warm and endless. Instantly, Aaron saw flashes, visions of the Kalari world. Their cities made of crystal, their skies filled with light. He saw Serenia as a child, learning the language of stars, her people watching her with pride. And then he saw the war, the corruption, the betrayal, the pain. He gasped, but she held his hand tightly. "Stay with me," she whispered, their minds connected. The ship came alive, its walls glowing brighter. Outside, the massive Kalari fleet paused as if sensing something. A voice echoed across every ship, clear and powerful. It was Serenia's voice, carried through every Kalari mind. "My people, you were deceived. You fight not for peace but for chains. The council has lied to you. Look upon this world. It has bled enough. No more." The Kalari soldiers hesitated. Many stopped their attack. But the council flagship at the center of the fleet glowed brighter, refusing her call. A deep, cold voice filled the air. "You are no queen. You are a ghost. And ghosts do not rule." Then the council's ship fired. A massive red beam struck toward Earth. The shockwave rattled every ship in orbit. Serenia screamed, her body shaking. The core flickered. Aaron grabbed her shoulder. "Hold on," she gasped. "I can stop it, but I need your strength." He took her hand again and the blue light around them grew. Their minds became one. He could feel her pain, her memories, her loneliness. And she felt his hope, his stubborn will to never give up. Together, they pushed back. A wave of blue light burst from the ship, spreading across space like a living storm. It hit the council's beam and shattered it. The light kept expanding, touching every Kalari vessel. Then something incredible happened. One by one, the ships began to power down. Their weapons fell silent. Their lights shifted from red to blue, the color of Serenia's mark. Inside the silence, her voice spoke again, not in anger, but peace. "This war ends now." The fleet stopped. The council ship trembled, then slowly turned away. Aaron fell to his knees, exhausted. The glow faded around him. He looked at Serenia. Her body was still, her eyes closed. She stood in front of the core, glowing softly. He reached out. "Serenia?" Her lips moved, but her voice came from everywhere, the walls, the lights, the air. "I'm here, Captain. I am the ship now." Aaron felt tears burn in his eyes. You did it. You saved them." Her voice was gentle. "No, we saved them. You showed me what hope feels like." He tried to speak, but his throat was tight. "Will I ever see you again?" There was a pause and then a soft whisper. "Look to the stars, Aaron. I will always be there." The lights of the ship glowed softly, wrapping him in blue light like a farewell. Outside, the Kalari fleet turned away from Earth, slowly vanishing into the darkness of space. For the first time in years, the sky was quiet. Aaron stood alone in the control room, staring at the stars. She was gone, yet somehow he felt her presence everywhere. The hum of the ship, the calm of the air, the light beyond the clouds. And as he looked out into the endless night, he whispered, "Everyone feared you, Serenia, but I never did, and now I understand why." The stars shimmered as if answering him. The war was over. But something new had begun. The story of two species united by courage and the memory of an alien queen who found humanity in a single man's heart. Weeks had passed since the battle in the skies. The world below had changed, not just in its cities but in its people. The fires were finally out, the sounds of war replaced by quiet rebuilding. The alien ships that once circled Earth now floated peacefully among the clouds. their lights calm and blue instead of angry red. Humans no longer shot at them. Instead, they worked together. Scientists, engineers, and Kalari technicians walking side by side, sharing tools, sharing hope. For the first time in human history, peace didn't feel like a dream. It felt real. Captain Aaron Cole stood on the balcony of the rebuilt command base watching the horizon glow with morning light. He wore no armor now, no rank badge, just a plain jacket and a tired smile. Dr. Lena walked up beside him holding a data pad. "The reconstruction is moving faster than expected," she said softly. "The Kalari engineers are..." "Incredible," Aaron nodded. "They were built for war, but they're learning peace faster than we did." Lena hesitated. "You still think about her, don't you?" Aaron didn't answer right away. His eyes were fixed on the distant Kalari mothership, the same one that once carried death, now orbiting peacefully above the Earth. "She's still up there," he said finally. "The ship still answers when I call." Lena looked down, a little smile on her face. "You really believe she's alive?" He turned toward her, his voice quiet but sure. "I don't believe." "I know." Every night since the battle, Aaron had returned to the communication room. The ship would hum softly whenever he entered, lights flickering like it was breathing. No words came, no voice spoke, but he felt her there, in the walls, in the light, in the silence. Sometimes, when the stars shone brighter than usual, the blue light would shimmer across the clouds, and he could swear he heard a whisper. His name carried in the wind, he never told anyone about it. Some things weren't meant for explanation. Days passed and peace grew stronger. Humans began to rebuild their cities with Kalari help. New towers rose beside old ruins. Children laughed again. People who once hated the aliens now worked with them, learning their strange language and sharing human songs in return. And yet, even as life returned, Aaron couldn't shake the feeling that something or someone was still watching. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the horizon, he received a message. It came from the Kalari ship, the one Serenia had become. The screen filled with faint blue light, forming a single sentence in both human and alien script. "Come to me." Aaron's heart raced. He didn't hesitate. Within an hour, he was aboard a small shuttle, rising through the clouds toward the silent giant that hovered above the Earth. The docking bay opened automatically, as if the ship had been expecting him. The moment he stepped inside, the air felt warm and familiar, calm like a heartbeat. Blue lights followed his steps, guiding him through the halls. He stopped in the center of the main chamber, the place where she had once stood. "Serenia?" he said quietly. For a moment there was only silence. Then slowly the walls began to glow brighter. A shape appeared in front of him, not solid but made of light. Her shape. She looked just as she had before, tall, graceful, her eyes glowing silver. A hologram, but more alive than any projection. Aaron took a slow breath. "It's really you." Her voice was soft, gentle as ever. "I am part of this ship now. I see through its eyes, feel through its circuits. But I am still me." He smiled faintly, unable to speak for a moment. "You saved us all." Serenia's image moved closer, her glow touching his face like a warm breeze. "We saved each other. You taught me what my people forgot, that mercy is not weakness and hope is not madness." Aaron lowered his head slightly. "The world's rebuilding because of you. Humanity owes you everything." She shook her head softly. "No, humanity owes me nothing. You gave me peace. You gave me a reason to believe in life again." For a long time, neither of them spoke. The quiet hum of the ship surrounded them, steady, alive, eternal. Aaron finally asked, "Will you ever come back? In person?" Her eyes softened. "My body is gone, Captain, but part of me still lives. I am in the stars now, and every time you look up you will see me." He nodded slowly, his eyes glistening. "I'll never forget you." Her expression changed in a small warm smile. "I know, and I will never forget you, Aaron Cole." The human who looked at a monster and saw a soul. The light around her began to fade, but before she disappeared she reached out, her glowing hand passing softly through his chest, leaving a faint warmth in his heart. "Goodbye," she whispered, "until the stars call again." And then, she was gone. Aaron stood there for a long time, staring at the empty space where she had been. The ship hummed softly, like a heartbeat slowing to rest. He turned and walked back to the window, looking out at the endless black sky filled with stars. Down below, Earth was alive again. Children played, laughter echoed, and lights glowed in cities that had once been ruins. Humanity had survived. Aaron smiled quietly. "You were right, Serenia," he said. "Hope never dies." The stars above flickered, one brighter than the rest, shining blue for just a second, like it was answering him. And somewhere beyond the edge of sight, far among the galaxies, an ancient voice whispered softly through the cosmos. "Why weren't you afraid of me, human?" And a voice answered in the dark, his voice steady and calm. "Because I saw the light in you." The screen faded to silence. The story of the alien queen and the fearless human had ended, but their legacy had just begun.